back aboard Meaning of the Mind by LizzeXX. We are on chapter 10, which is the first chapter for the Super Claw episode. So if you want to follow along, links to both fanfiction and archive are in the description below. Hopefully they work. If they don't, because YouTube might be being bit with my links, you can either hopefully go on archive or fanfiction.net and look for the author. Their name is in the description below, and of course, the story is called Meanings of the Mind, and we are on chapter 10. So hopefully you can find it. If link doesn't work, but if not, then although I do highly suggest you follow along because I really do have a habit of like skipping words or like sometimes struggling with a word, like I stutter over it. So do recommend. So let's just get right on into it with Meaning of the Mind. Chapter 10. Tooth and Claw, the Torchwood Estate. A procession of monks walked into the yard of an old manor-like house. When the steward looked up from his work, he rolled his eyes, sighing, before making his way over to meet the head monk as he pulled his hood off. Come now, father, the steward spoke. You should know better. You're not welcome here, and especially not today. I've got no time to start old arguments. We want only one thing, the father replied. And what would that be? This house. The steward started to chuckle at that. Incredulous. You want the house? We will take the house. Would you like my advice while you're at it? He smirked, clearly thinking this was all a great big joke. If you won't stand aside, then we will take it by force. By what power? The hand of God. No, the father's eyes narrowed. The fist of man. Suddenly he thrust his staff into the steward's stomach, knocking him to the ground. He picked them clear across the yard and signaled for the monks to drop their cloaks, revealing bright red clothing beneath. They swung their staffs, using sharp martial arts moves to fight against the household staff. They made quick work of the men in the yard before running into the house and capturing the maid in the kitchen, while a few others ran upstairs and knocked out the head of the house, leaving the lady of the house eating prey. The steward came around in the cellar of the manor, chained up with the rest of the staff and the lady of the house, and the door was wrenched open by one of the monks. In the name of heaven, the steward breathed, before spotting the lady. My lady? The lady's but the lady's eyes were trained on the monks, with several of them dragged in a cage covered by a sheet, leaving it at the opposite end of the cellar. What's in there? What is it? What's the canvas? The father stepped into the cage, staring at it, unanswering. Father, he shouted, answer me. What's in there? The father turned a haunted look to him. God forgive me, he said, and the monk ripped the sheet off, and the prisoner screamed at the creature that lay within. The doctor was holding a CD in his hand, showing it to Angel, explaining who the musicians were and the type of music they created while she listened eagerly. For the last 20 years, she hadn't had much experience in terms of music. No one who had taken possession of her or the Dalek really thought much of letting them listen to it. The music especially rarely played anything of the sort of the speakers, there not being any people wandering around it that ear to enjoy it. Frank Stanton himself was the sort of man who, if the music played was not of his liking, would likely have the person who selected it removed from the property with memories erased. The only thing she'd been able to hear while she'd been chained up had been the screams of the Dalek as it was tortured. Not exactly sounds she wanted to hear, as it only served to remind her that as soon as they were able to examine the true Dalek within, it would be her turn. Not that she would know what that would entail. She had, at various points, been poked and prodded, dissected even. The humans were just so eager to find out the differences between their species. Not all of them had the technology Van Staten had acquired, and she was much easier to get than the Dalek. They took extra measures, of course, to make sure that she would survive the experiment. They didn't know how human blood would react to hers, so they would collect any that escaped during the operation and filter it back into her. They didn't know what medicine or chemicals would react to her psycholo- psych- psychology. They didn't use them. She'd been conscious when it happened. It had been hell, yes, but she could take comfort in the fact that, much like those in Van Statten's, those who tortured her took pity on her, felt guilt, because she looked so much like a human. They would try to make her as comfortable as they could while still maintaining objectiveness. Gave her time to heal before running more less invasive tests on her. The resection only ever happened once whenever she changed hands, sometimes not at all, like with Van Statten. Shouldn't hold it against the humans for what they did. There were different ways to learn things. They were curious, and she refused to believe that they would generally wish to harm her through their actions. The humans the doctor loved so much couldn't be that cruel. She had to believe that. It was the only way she could cope with what happened. That it just happened. And, she supposed, she knew it wouldn't happen again. Now, looking back on it, when she arrived in Van Statten, when she had Starlight scream, she couldn't help the feeling that she was grateful it wouldn't happen to her. It was like, deep down, she just knew that she'd get out before they could move on to her. Now she knew. It was because of the doctor. Somewhere inside her, she must have sensed that he would come, that he would rescue her, and that she would be safe. It had happened. It was in the past, somewhere that she couldn't live. It wasn't healthy. In their own personal timelines, there was only the present and the future. One that, she had to admit, was far beyond her wildest dreams and made her so happy she honestly couldn't believe it was real. And it was all because of the doctor. Rose finished zipping up her bag and shoved it out of the way, straightening up as she gestured to her outfit. "What are you doing with this?" she asked, pulling their attention to her as she looked down at a rather short dungaree skirt with a pinkish shirt and black tights. "Will it do? In the late 1970s?" the doctor asked. You'd be better off in a bin bag. Hold on. Listen to this. He pushed the CD into a player and hit me with your rhythm of stick by Ian Jury and the Blockheads flared out. Ian Jury and the Blockheads, number one in 1979. You're a punk, Rose laughed. The doctor just pushed down a few controls before spinning and pulling Angel to him, dancing with her as he sang to her. Good to see a lunatic. I don't know the song. She, Angel laughed as he moved her around. Well, what one you are, she laughed. You're absolutely mad. She put her arms around his neck, rocking with the music. Madman with a box. Best kind there is. He smiled, spinning her around. That's definitely what you are. Rose smiled, watching them. A big old punk with a box, a bit of rockabilly thrown in. She really was so pleased to see them like this. So happy with each other. You see it so often in the doctor's eyes before they found Angel. The loss, the loneliness, the guilt, the sorrow. They had a terrible burden placed upon him due to the war, a burden she hadn't been able to lift or lighten. No one had, not till Angel came aboard. She'd seen it happening through their travels, see the light growing in the doctor's eyes, positively sparkling whenever Angel was around or even mentioned. They'd finally been able to share that burden with someone who'd lived through the war, seen the destruction the Daleks had done, seen what their own people had become, and understood. She understood why he'd done what he had, and did not hold it against him in the slightest. Angel had been able to give him the forgiveness he so desperately needed to even begin to heal. And here he had. Just looking at them now, it was hard to imagine the being man before her had been such a brooding and angry mess. You had to think it, watching how happy he was around Angel. Would you like to see him? The doctor looked over at Rose as he and Angel continued to dance. How do you mean? In concert? What else is the TARDIS for? The doctor counted as separated from Angel, but still danced his way around the console. All sorts of things, Angel laughed. The doctor shouted at that. Angel turned to Rose. We could go and watch the Batgirl, the first and around the teeth of the pit. Oh, we got to join Caesar after the roof corner. And jury at the top back. The doctor got in with a smile, making a mental note of all those places and events. Angel must have been curious about them. She took them off the top of her head. I really did love seeing her smile, much like she did with him. He put in some more coordinates, getting them ready. Sheffield, England, 21st November 1979. What do you think? Sheffield it is, Rose cheered. Fantastic, Angel agreed, poking at the side jokingly as she passed him her envelope he had forgotten. Hold on tight, the doctor called. He pulled a lever and they all lurched forward as the car shook and whizzed through the vortex. And then the doctor started whacking the console with a hammer in time with the music. Oi! Angel shouted, half jumping on his back. Stop hitting her! Rose couldn't help but laugh at the sight of the doctor swinging away with Angel dangling from his back. Stop it! She tried again, clinging to him with one arm while her other reached out to grab his hammer-wielding arm. The doctor stopped hitting the console just as the charges jerked, sending them all to the floor. The doctor twisted himself so Angel landed on top of him, all of them just laughing their heads off. 1979, the doctor got up, helping Angel up as well. Hell of a year. He turned and pulled Rose to her feet. China invaded Vietnam. He continued as Angel helped him into his jacket. The Muppet movie, loved that film. I haven't seen that one. Angel remarked. He turned and gave her a pet. We'll watch it after the concert, he promised, taking her hand to give the back of it a small kiss as well, while turning and rushing towards the door was with her. Margaret Faction, the Skylab Falls to us. It's a little help for me. It's my thumb. He opened the door and they stepped through. I like my thumb. Angel smiled at how he could ramble. I do too. She squeezed his hand, running her thumb over his thumb for good measure. She loved it when he got like this. So excited that he spoke so quickly that it was hard to keep up. Timid, she often couldn't keep up with him, but he had a very nice voice. She loved hearing him talk, even if she couldn't always follow. I need my thumb, he continued. I'm very attached to you before faltering, noticing that they were surrounded by Scottish soldiers on all sides, guns were raised. They quickly put their hands up. My thumb, 1979, Angel said quietly to him as the guns clicked, ready to fire. No different, he shrugged. You won't display your presence, the captain of the guard stated, Mitoki's horse, and the nakedness of this girl. Rose looked down at herself, starting to blush, was desperately to tug on the hem of her skirt, but couldn't lower her hand. Are we in Scotland? Oh God, do I have to do a Scottish accent for this? Are we in Scotland? You know what? No, I won't do the accent. The doctor asked, taking on a Scottish accent. How can you be ignorant of that? Oh, I'm dazed and confused. He started to smile. As I often am around my lovely. He beamed at Angel, winking at her. I've been helping her chase this wee naked child, and then nodded at Rose. Over hill and over dale. Is that right? Yes. Terror speaks. Oh, aye, Rose said, with a horrible attempt at a Scottish accent. I've been out and about. No, don't do that, the doctor whispered to her. Oops, man. I really don't. Angel agreed, still barely managing not to laugh. Really? This was a first. It was an awful split to laugh at Rose. More often than not, when Rose was trying to be funny, the joke would go over her head, if that was the right phrase. She didn't really understand that one, but she'd missed the joke and laughed once it had been explained. This, this was really funny. Rose just smiled at her and nudged her. Will you identify yourself, sir? The captain called out to him. I'm Dr. James McCurran, the doctor introduced, with my wife, Angela. He nodded at Angel. Wait, she whispered at him, her eyes wide. He just shot her a smile, making him smile thoughtfully in return, blushing lightly before continuing on with his explanation to the captain. From the township of Bavaria, I have my credentials, if I may. He gestured towards his pocket, and the captain nodded. He fumbled to get his pocket paper out, showing it to the man. As you can see, a doctorate from the University of Edinburgh. I trained them, Dr. Bell himself. Let them approach. One voice called from the carriage the soldiers were guarding. I don't think that's wise, ma'am, the captain replied, still suspicious of the trio. Let them approach. The doctor gestured towards the carriage, and the captain nodded again, having no choice but to let them approach. You will approach the carriage, the captain stated, to show all due deference. The doctor made an aye-aye signal and slowly approached with Rose and Angel. One of the footmen opened the door to reveal Queen Victoria. Rose? Angel? The doctor smiled, recognizing the woman. Might I introduce Her Majesty Queen Victoria, Empress of India and Defender of the Faith? Angel nodded. Ashton McCullough, ma'am. Rose curtsied. Rose Ferdinand, and my apologies for being so naked. She laughed nervously. The Queen just eyed her. I've had 5 daughters. It's nothing to me. But you, Doctor, show me these credentials. The doctor obligingly held out the psychic paper to her and she eyed it. Why didn't you say so? Recently. It states clearly here that you've been appointed by the Lord Provost as my protector. Does it? The doctor's eyes widened at that. Yes, it does. It's good. Good. Fucks you up, doesn't it? Angel managed to him a bit. Protect her. He smiled at her softly. Stay with you, he mumbled, lifting her hand to kiss the back of it. Angel, my doctor, she whispered, smiling in return. My psychic, continued. I see. Rose smiled at them. They were just so sweet. But there was something she was wondering though. If you don't mind my asking, ma'am, she turned to the Queen. Well, what are you doing on the way out of here? Right, the doctor nodded, pulling his attention away from Angel to frown at the Queen. That was a very good question. Why is your Majesty travelling by road when there's a train all the way to Aberdeen? A tree on the line, Queen exclaimed. An accident? I am the Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Anything else intended to be planned? Angel frowned before realizing an assassination attempt? What? Seriously? Rose's eyes widened in shock. There's people out to kill you. I've quite been staring down the barrel of a gun, the Queen informed her. The Robert McAleese, lives but 10 miles ahead, the captain informed. We'll send word ahead. He'll shelter us for tonight, then we can reach Barrymore tomorrow. This doctor, his wife, and their timorous Phoebe will come with us. Yes, ma'am. We'd better get moving. It's almost nightfall. Indeed, she agreed. And there are stories of wars in these parts. The doctor cast a glance at Angel as she stood beside him. Fanciful tales intended to scare the children. But good for the purposes. Drive on. What is it? He whispered to her as the carriage drove past. It's more than just a story, she replied, equally as quiet. Rose turned to them, grinning, not having heard their hushed conversation. It's funny though, because you say assassination, and you just think Kennedy and stuff. Not her. 1879, the doctor shrugged as they turned to follow. She said, oh, 6 attempts on her life? And I'll tell you something else. We just met Queen Victoria. I know! Rose squealed excitedly. Amazing! Angel agreed. She's just sitting there, like a stamp, the doctor nodded. I wanted to say, Rose began, putting on an effective upper-class accent, we are not amused. Before dropping it, I bet you 5 kids I could make her say it. Well, if I gambled on that, it would be abuse of my privilege of traveller in time. Then good, done. I would take that bet if I were you, Angel remarked. He looked at her, amused. What, you think she'd do it? Not saying, Angel replied with a grin. The doctor shrugged and turned back to walk, able to shoot Rose a wink behind his back. Rose grinned slightly at the hint that she might just win the step. The carriage pulled up to a large stone manor reading Orchard Estate. A man at the head of the house looking down from a window uneasily. I can't do this. It's treason. The head monk appeared behind him. And your wife will suffer the consequences. And believe me, Sir Robert, she will be the bastard. Sir Robert closed his eyes, helpless, before making his way downstairs to greet his guest, with the monk following. He stepped out of the house just as the footman opened the door to the carriage, helping the queen down. Your Majesty, he bowed. Sir Robert, she nodded. My apologies for the emergency. And how is Lady Isabel? She's indisposed, he replied hesitantly, turning a frown from Angel. I'm afraid she's gone to Edinburgh for the season, and she's taking the cook with her. The kitchens are barely stocked. I wouldn't blame your Majesty if you wanted to ride on. Angel glanced at the doctor, seeing that he too had sent out. Sir Robert was trying to warn the queen away. He looked back, only to find her attention drawn to the bold staff members behind the man instead. Oh, not at all, the queen replied cheerfully. I've had quite enough carriage exercise, and this is charming. It's rustic. My first visit to this house. My late husband spoke of it often, the torture of state. Now, shall we go inside? Robert was reluctant enough, reluctant though the queen didn't seem to notice. Please excuse the baby's girl. Sorry, Rose smiled bashfully. She's a feral child, the doctor added. I brought her from sixpence in North London town. She's her all the elephant man, so she's funny, but I'm so not amused, Rose commented, turning to pointedly at the queen. What do you think, ma'am? It hardly matters. The queen shook her head. Shall we proceed? Sir Robert nodded and began to make their way into the house, leaving Rose, Angel, and the doctor outside with the guards. Oh, Christ, Rose muttered. Nicholson, Van, and Ramsay, you all escort the property, the captain commanded. Hurry up! Yes, sir, the two soldiers said, moving off to do their task. One of them pulling a small wooden box from the carriage and carried it carefully into the house. What's in there, then? The doctor asked, watching them. Property of the crown, the captain said sharply. You ought to miss any further thoughts, sir. The rest of you go to the rear of the house. Assume your postmated position. You have the orders, sir? A soldier turned to the doctor. Conditions, sir. He nodded, and they turned to head into the house. But the guards won't be watching them. Angel remarked quietly, glancing back at the soldiers. Who? The doctor frowned, turning to her. Staff. What about them? Rose asked her. They're wrong. They're just wrong. In the cellar of the prison, and as watched the shadows go past the door into the house with fear in their eyes, turning to look at the man in the cage across from them. He simply raised a finger to his lips, shushing them. One of the soldiers placed the wooden box carefully inside the safe. Guard it with your life, the captain ordered, shutting the door, sealing it in. So Robert led them to the observatory at the top of the house. The Queen, Rose, Angel, and the Doctor entering with three of the bold staff members. They stopped and stared at awe at what looked like an enormous telescope in the middle of the room. This, I take it, is the famous Endeavour, the Queen commented. All her father's work, Robert smiled softly, built by hand in his final years, became something of an obsession. He spent his money on this rather than caring for the house or himself. I wish I met him. I like him, the doctor smiled. Captain's useful. Can he gestured towards it. Help yourself, Robert nodded. The doctor, Angel, and Rose moved forward to examine the telescope in the wall next to it. Did he use any sort of model? Angel asked, looking back at Robert over the will. I know nothing about it. To be honest, most of us thought him a little, shall we say, eccentric. I wish now I spent more time with him and listened to his stories. It's a bit rubbish, the doctor commented, playing through it. Rose turned and went to join Angel next to Will, both of them sharing a look at his rudeness. How many prisons has it got? Way too many. The ramifications from right over the top. That's a stupid kind of idiot to the girls. Am I being rude again? Yep, Rose said at the same time as Angel said yes. But it's pretty, he turned back to Robert. Very pretty. Please ignore my husband. Angel stepped up beside him. Robert liking this cover he can't with. Most of them not, he's glad to get away from him. The Queen nodded. I do believe that the imagination of it should be applauded. Rose eyed her. Thought you might disapprove, Your Majesty. stargazing? Isn't that a bit fanciful? The queen gave her a look. Can you see not being used or starting? No? This device surveys the infinite work of God. The queen looked at the telescope as Angel was patted Rose reassuringly on the arm, while the doctor shook his head at her. What could be finer? Sir Robert's father was an example to us all. A polymath, he did astrology and science, yet equally well versed in folklore and fairy tales. Stars of magic, the doctor remarked. I like more and more. Me too, Angel nodded. You like this someone? She smiled at the doctor. He grinned and winked at her before he wandered around the telescope once more to examine it. Oh, my late husband enjoyed his company, the queen murmured, before looking at Rose and Angel. Albert himself was a creature of many rural superstitions, trying to give exactly progress. That's Salavari, the doctor whispered to them. When Albert was told about your local wolf, he was transported, the queen added to Robert. So, what's this wolf then? The doctor asked, recalling Angel's warning that it wasn't just a legend. It's just a story, Robert shrugged. Then tell it. They glanced at each other as Robert squirmed, glancing at one of the bald men uncomfortably. It says that. Excuse me, sir, one of the men interrupted. Perhaps Her Majesty's party could retire to their room. It's almost dark. Of course, he nodded quickly. Yes, of course. Did you see it? Angel leaned to whisper to the doctor, her gaze on the bald man. He nodded. And his supper, the queen agreed, not noticing. Could we find some clothes for Miss Tyler? Perhaps Mrs. McCurran? I'm tired of nakedness. It's not amusing, is it? Rose asked the queen pointedly. The queen glanced at Rose before deciding to ignore her comment and turn back to Robert. So, Robert, your wife must have left some clothes. See to it. We shall dine at 7 and more of this wolf. After all, there is a full moon tonight. So there is, ma'am. Robert smiled pensively, staring as the queen left the room. Rose huffed but moved to follow the queen out with a few of the staff and Robert. The doctor about to go as well when he noticed Angel staring at the telescope. He frowned and walked over to her, gently putting his arm around her waist. Well, what is it? I don't know. She murmured and reached out to rest her hand on the telescope, feeling along it, much like she tended to do with the TARDIS, while she flicked a small switch at the side of it. The chambers of the telescope opened and caught the sun, reflecting through the prism within, and casting dots of rainbow on the floor. Angel smiled at the sight. It's beautiful. The doctor smiled softly at that. She was so easy to please, just taking joy in the simple things that life offered her. Must be better, she whispered pointedly into her ear, nuzzling his nose against her temples. Mrs. McCurran, Robert called, appearing in the doorway again. I've a room prepared. He gestured out to Paul. Right, Angel nodded. Sorry, she smiled, rushing out of the room as the doctor smiled, watching her go. Rather looking forward to seeing her in a gown of the period. It'd probably be lovely. Rose walked to the wardrobe and opened the door, finding a brown dress, holding it up to herself in the mirror before quickly putting it back. The monks carefully brewed some sort of rent in the kitchen, tossing this coat into it. Angel stood before a wardrobe, her hand out, gently letting it brush over different dresses within, feeling the different fabrics. Rose pulled out a very frilly gown and held it up to herself, laughing as she put it back. The head monk smiled, handing the monks to the men standing guard. Angel's hand stopped on a lovely red gown, smiling softly as she pulled it out to look at it fully. Rose smiled, holding up a very pretty dark blue dress and swirling around, deciding on that one. The guards sipped the brew, thankful for the hospitality it was shown to them. Angel placed the dress down onto the bed and began to pull off her duster. Rose placed the dress down on her bed and crossed the room and opening another wardrobe, only to scream to see a young maid hiding inside, terrified. One by one, the guards fell down unconscious, the monks hurrying over to take their guns. Angel paused in getting dressed, looking up a moment to stare curiously at the door to the room. She quickly walked over and locked it, listening intently as the sound of footsteps reached her door, pressed the knob before walking away. Rose sat beside the young maid on the bed. entered the house, the maid was explaining. See, despite they took the sword and the master. My lady, Rose squeezed her hand. Listen, I've got these friends, the Doctor and Angel. They'll know what to do. They'll come with me. Oh, but I can't, miss. What's your name? Flora. Flora will be safe. There's more people arrived downstairs, soldiers and everything. And they can help us. I promise. Come on. Okay? Come on. Rose got up and led her to the door, peering out of it carefully. Stepping out when she saw the coast was clear. If they could just make it around the corner down the hall to Angel's room, she knew they would be safe. Angel, the girl seems to have a knack for survival, even better than Cassandra. She not only escaped the time warp, but survived years in captivity. On top of taking in the vortex with all of their adventures, she always just seems to know where to go to be safe, and the time she was even able to sense the danger on the horizon was growing. She even sees the girls save teams who the doctor couldn't, like Linda and the controller from when they got involved in that whole bad wolf incident. Angel would be able to keep them safe, she knew. She trusted the girl with her life, much like she did the doctor. Between the two of them, there was no doubt in her mind that she and Laura would be safe. They ran into the corner, just stopping short when they saw a guard unconscious. Oh, I did warn you. Rose knelt down beside the man and felt for a pulse. He's not dead. I don't think. He must be drugged or something. Suddenly, Flora's stifled scream reached her. She spun around to see Flora being dragged away by a monk before she herself was grabbed and pulled away as well. And that's the end of chapter 10. No picture or archive if you're following along. So, I hope you enjoyed. If you did or you like, go leave a kudos, review, comment, all that. We're done here. Cheers. So go show the author some love. But before you do, be sure to subscribe. I upload new videos every Friday and Saturday. I'll see you guys next Friday with a new video. Bye!